Hi, good morning, and welcome to Chime Real Estate Tech Talk. And I am super happy to be joined by the amazing Danny Ciata. I got that right?
Very good.
That's awesome. And Danny is representing our new preferred partner, boxbrownie.com. I'm super stoked to have you here. And how are you this morning?
I'm very good. I'm very excited to be here. Thank you for having us in this really cool setup studio. It's very excited to be able to do this face-to-face for once and not doing it digitally, but great to have people looking at us online as well.
Exactly. We're Zoom best friends.
Exactly.
So I feel like we know each other. Exactly. Well, it's nice to have you in the studio. And today we are going to introduce the world to boxbrownie.com. And we're going to talk about how that works with the Chime CRM infrastructure to help people shake more hands and sell more houses. So I guess my first question would be, why is there a Box Brownie? Like, what got you guys started on this path?
Of course, that's a great question. We get that question a lot, especially with the Box Brownie name. A lot of people think that we do the search or something, but no, we're a photo editing company. And the origin of this story is Brad Filipponi, who is one of our co-founders. He was a real estate photographer for many, many years out in Australia. And he found a need for having to outsource his editing because he was shooting houses all day and then editing all night and basically had no time to breathe outside of that and, have some quality time and also focus on sharing and shooting more houses. So he started outsourcing his editing to a team who, by the way, still works with us to this day. So that's pretty cool. And then he joined forces with Mel a couple years later. And that's kind of how Box Brownie came into shape. And here we are today, a world leader in property marketing.
That's awesome. And the reason that this podcast exists, Real Estate Tech Talk, is because there are 3 ways to do anything on the planet. One is yourself, but then all of a sudden, instead of being a realtor, you're a computer guru and you're a writer and you're an editor and you're a photographer and you're this and you're that. And it takes you away from the stuff you need to do to sell the houses, right? To be out front of the clients. The second is you outsource it, but then it costs a lot of money and you have to find other people that you can trust that are going to do the job to the level that you want them to do. And again, it just costs you a ton of money and is the ROI there. And then the third is you automate it, right? You make your life easier. And that's what Chime CRM is all about. And when I first met Box Brownie at, I believe it was Inman in 2019 in New York, I met you guys. I fell in love because it looked like one of those things that was just a no-brainer because it's something that all agents need, but they either spend a lot of money and time doing it or they don't do it. They know it's important, but they have too many other things going on. So I'm super stoked that you are our first guest on our first podcast here. And you know what? For those that don't know what boxbrownie.com is, I think we should start there. Let's get in. Let's show everybody a little bit about what Box Brownie does. We'll talk a little bit about how that works with Chime. And then, I'll pepper in some questions and we'll show the magic of Box Brownie. Sound like a good idea?
Yeah, that sounds great. Let's get right into it. So for everyone who's not familiar with boxbrownie.com, we are a world leader in property marketing. Basically, we are a photo editing service, but we focus on property marketing. So we have everything you need to create beautiful content and imagery to market your listings and your properties in the best way possible. And kind of our whole thing is making your life easier so that you don't have to worry so much about this side of the business. And you can go ahead and, like you said, do what you're best at, which is selling homes.
Exactly. I hear that like a 24-hour turnaround on a regular, is that right?
Exactly. So most of our edits are 24 to 48 hour turnaround. I'll go into more detail because, again, we have so many different edits. They have a team of about 1,600 editors working around the clock, all over the world. So we cover every single time zone, Gary. Anywhere you are, you will always have someone to pick up those projects. We also have 24/7 customer service. And basically, they're there to cater to you and help you create amazing imagery and content. So we have, again, a whole variety of services. The way that it works is that it is a website, so everything is done online. It's a cloud-based service, so you don't need to worry about downloading too many things and about having to deal with all of that. As you all said, we are fast, 24 to 48 hours for most of our services. That's kind of one of our biggest selling points. We also offer, this is something not a lot of people know, but we offer unlimited reworks for all of our edits. So let's say that you get a project completed with us. You have 2 months to get it looking absolutely perfect if that's what you need. So you did a virtual staging, and you went, you know what, I don't really like that couch or want to try different artwork,
Oh,
we'll take care of that.
oh, in that first time that you purchase that is good for 2 months.
Exactly.
Oh, that's
You have 2 months to request changes. We want you to be 100% happy with it, so we have that policy.
okay. So this is for you perfectionists out there. So for those of you that need to look at something 15 times before you're happy, well, then there you go. I think you're going to be happy the first time, but I like that that's an opportunity for people to make those changes. Or you know what, if you post it and it's a week later and maybe you're not getting the thumbs up and the follows that you want, maybe tweak it a little bit.
Yeah, and even also, you maybe be working with clients who have a particular vision, and you get this virtual staging back, and they go like, you know what, I really picture this a little bit different. So you have the flexibility to adjust that for them. So that's the great way
Sure.
of doing it digitally versus doing it, in real life.
Forget about it. You
Yeah.
have to go back out to the house and you have to get a couple guys to move the couch for you.
Yes, exactly.
No,
So
that's awesome.
you can do it from the computer. You don't even have to do it. You just tell us to do it, and we'll get it done.
I love
So
it.
it's
I
free.
love it. So it's like outsourcing, but it doesn't cost you $1 zillion.
Exactly.
Exactly. Okay, keep going. Sorry I interrupted.
No, that's okay. Keep asking any questions that you have. So 24/7 customer service, as I mentioned, we covered every single time zone. Every time that you go on the website, you have a live chat and you have our phone number that you can call. I think that's one of the most valuable things that we offer nowadays, because we have real humans there to help you and listen to you. And I actually started in the customer service team, so I know firsthand the amount of detail and care that goes into that. So it's really close to my heart whenever I talk about that particular aspect of our business.
Yeah, because there are a lot of really cool tools out there, but if for some reason you just don't get something, or it didn't turn out the way you wanted, or you're not sure you're submitting something correctly, you're kind of at a loss. You have to do some Google search and hope somebody else has asked the same question. So that support is huge.
I always joke around and say, if you wake up at 3 a.m. and you're stressed about a listing that you need some emotional support, go into our chat. Someone's going to be there. You can call us.
Did you hear that, guys? They do photo editing and therapy.
Exactly.
That's fantastic, Danny. I didn't know that.
Service.
I may call you, and I don't know if my therapy session is going to have anything to do with real estate or technology, but I need a friend.
I'm sure that the customer service agents will appreciate, and they'll be happy to take you.
All right, cool.
All right. So another great thing about our program is that we have no subscription. So a lot of other services are, you got to pay for a subscription, monthly payments, and we offer pay-as-you-go service. So you only pay for what you need and when you need it. And there's also not like an amount or a limit of the things that you have to do. You can do one image if you want. One image and you're good, or you can do 100. It's completely up to you. So it's great having that financial control over what you're doing.
Yeah, just knowing it's there and not committing yourself to something that if you have some slower months, you have the money going out, but not the money coming in.
Exactly. And every property, every listing is different. So maybe you don't have the budget to do all the works for one, but then you have it for another one. So that way you can control what it is that you're picking and choosing, how much you're spending.
I love that. And I definitely want to get into how it works, but like one thing I love, and I want you guys out there listening to this to think about, is that when you sit down with that potential client, when you put together all of the marketing efforts you're going to do for them, and you include services like them that assure that their house is going to look the best that it could look so that it attracts the most attention and has the most offers, like that's huge. Everything that you can use to differentiate yourself from the other agents, it just moves your likelihood of getting that listing
Absolutely
a lot higher. Yeah.
I always say this, that it's not just about selling a listing, it's also about building a brand. So when you're building your brand with your marketing and you can present that to potential buyers, if you're able to present a whole bunch of things versus another one that doesn't have that option, then you're most likely to get that listing. So we're going to talk about some really cool things that we can do to help you and help people secure that listing with our app, Snap, that we're going to mention.
Oh,
But
yes. I'm excited about that
yeah.
one. And you know what? This is perfect for the new agent who's trying to make an impression, because it's even harder, right? Because you don't have the resume that somebody who's been doing it for 20 years has. And it's also good for that agent who has been around for a while. You have the resume, and then you can also say, and I invest my own time and my resources to make sure that you look great out there. So I think that's awesome.
I think that's one of my favorite things to really, because I do trainings all the time and I talk to brokerages and agents all the time. And one of the things that I always tell them is that there's something for everyone. There's something for the agent that's doing their own photography. There's something for the agents that are hiring it and getting professional photographer. We have all the options that you need. You just got to find the right one for you.
I love it. Let's look.
Yeah. So box20.com services. We offer so many things. If you go into our website, it's very transparent. You can find all the information there. You can find pricing, turnaround times, everything is out there. We're going to focus today on some of the more essential ones that we believe and we have learned that you should absolutely be doing to have the best listing possibles and really up that marketing game. So we're going to go right into it and start with image enhancement.
Okay.
So image enhancement is our most basic edit. It's our bread and butter. We do thousands of this every single day. And one thing that we have learned is that professional photos are the number one thing that potential buyers are looking for when they're doing their home search online. And that is a fact that we got from NAR. So you can go to the NAR website and find really cool reports and statistic and data. So we've taken the time to look at that, and images, professional photos are the number one thing. So that is the most basic thing that an agent should be doing.
We want something pretty, right? That's what we're looking for in buying a house. Yeah.
It's about giving buyers what they want. So the most basic thing that someone should be doing is getting beautiful photography. Either you're doing it with a professional photographer or you're doing it yourself. And a big part of that is actually photo editing. So one of the first things, I'm a photographer, one of the first things I learned when I went to photography school was editing is as much as part of the process as actually taking the photo.
Sure.
And this is because cameras are not as smart as our eyes. So they're not going to capture the same texture, the same depth, the same light, the same colors. So with editing, that's what we're bringing back. There's this misconception that when you're editing something, you might be misrepresenting and you might be changing too much. And that's not...
Like too thick an Instagram filter for me. Yeah, exactly. I don't look at anything like this, guys. I'm actually much shorter and uglier.
Well, yeah, and I don't condone the Instagram filters. I'm going to be honest. You can get great results with just photo editing.
Sure.
So it's the same thing. If a lot of people go like, oh yeah, I take the photo and I'm going to do an Instagram filter. No, that's not going to cut it.
It's more than...
Yeah, so you got to really go into detail. That's what image enhancement does. It's a 17-step process where we basically... I know. We transform your images. This is closer to the truth than the previous image. This is just a camera that wasn't smart enough to read the light conditions and get all those details. So with image enhancement, we can fix that up. Again, it's a 17-step process where we do color balance, we fix up any distortions, we remove any blemishes. We can also replace sky, grass. I'll show you that in a little bit. But this, yeah.
Amazing. It pops.
It's an amazing result. And, it's only $1.60 per image.
Okay. Guys, are you looking at this? Why would you not spend $1? Like, think about can you go back to the other picture?
Yeah, of course.
Let's go back to the other. Okay. Now for $1.60, it looks like this. Let's go. Boom. $1.60. That's amazing. Keep going. This is beautiful.
Yeah. So again, for outdoor images is also very, very valuable. I think probably what people gravitate towards the most is the fact that we can do the sky and the grass replacement, because you maybe go to a house and you send out your photographer, you spend thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars doing that, and it's a cloudy day and it rained and it's all muddy and it's all sad. And you don't want to put that out there. You want to make sure that your photos are nice and inviting and bright and happy. So we go ahead and again, for $1.60, we control the weather for you. We make it into a sunny, beautiful day, and you have a stunning image that's going to sell your property and really represent it in the best way possible.
Right.
So that's some of the things that we can do with image enhancement. Again, when you're shooting properties, and this is something that will happen with professional cameras or with phones. Again, cameras can measure light the same way that eyes does. This is a very dramatic light situation. You have very, very brights on the outside and then a very, very dark on the inside. Cameras can kind of measure it out like our eyes. So you're not going to get an even result. With image enhancement, we can go and fix that up. And look how beautiful that light.
Yes.
And you know what? You can see the true color of the walls, the true color of the furniture. We did the TV screen replacement, which I think it's a really fun little trick that we can do with image enhancement so that you have that nice TV image. and we can even turn on fireplace.
Amazing.
So image enhancement is going to be your best friend. Everyone should be doing image enhancement for all of their photos.
Absolutely. Why did you not? For the price of a candy bar at the grocery store, right? That is incredible.
And even for not real estate, if you're taking your vacation family pics or something like that, you can do an image enhancement and get a beautiful photograph. So I always say, edit your photos.
Headshots, maybe, for their website, their social media.
It's funny you mentioned that because we also have a portrait retouching edit. So you can go ahead, take a nice photo with your iPhone, and nowadays iPhone cameras are amazing quality.
Sure.
A few tips. I always get people asking me, oh, how can I take a new headshot, or can you edit this photo? Don't use like a selfie or something. Go ahead, go outside, take a photo with the sun in front of you, and you'll have a nice quality image, and we can go ahead and edit it and make it look beautiful so that you can have a new headshot.
You heard it here, guys. Everybody wants a new headshot. Let's do this thing. All right, Data Dust, talk to me.
All right, Data Dust, Gary, this is my favorite. Okay. My favorite edit that we have is going to be the Data Dust. It can generate up to 4 times more clicks in the MLS. Again, that is in fact a little stat that we got from NAR reports. And then it's because basically what it does is we grab any image and we turn it into a beautiful sunset. So this is a perfectly fine photo.
Beautiful.
But we are going to go ahead and make it even more stunning.
Yes.
So as you can see, through these edit is similar to the image enhancement, where we also enhance the property in the image. We do all the 17 steps and all that, but on top of that, we're going to do the conversion to dusk. So we're going to change that sky. We're going to turn on all the lights inside the property. We're going to turn on any of the lights that are around there, and any shadows, we're going to tone them down. And basically what this does is that it's going to create a beautiful hero shot and really have that eye-grabbing quality that you want for people to stop scrolling and stop into your listing and click into it and go into it. This is another great example. I'm
excited.
What do you feel when you look at this photo? What's your impression?
Well, I live in Arizona, so I'm not sure what that white stuff is all over the house. I think it looks beautiful. It looks like a nice, cozy cabin type home up in the mountains. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I think that a lot of people who live out in the snow will say, oh, that's a lot of snow. You know, it's really cold.
Exactly, because I don't live there. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
So what we want with Data Dust, and this is the reason why it's my favorite, it's a great way of telling a story. Storytelling, it's so important nowadays. And this is a property that now has a different story to it.
It's warm.
It's warm. It's inviting. It's Christmassy, you know.
It's I was just, the first thing that came to me was I'm watching a Hallmark movie, and the girl who works in the city goes out to the country and finds the guy in the flannel, and they fall in.
Exactly.
That's what this reminds me of.
It also reminds me of, watching the Harry Potter movies with my family during Christmas, drinking hot cocoa. It's kind of the vibe that you want to go for. So I love that aspect of it because I love storytelling and the way that it mixes with photography. And then another really cool feature that you can take advantage of with the Data Dust. I love your face.
Well, this house is blowing me away. So whoever's got this listing, congratulations.
Because this is a beautiful photo. This is gorgeous. A great photo just by itself.
Okay,
but here's the thing. This is an asset. This is a great part of the property. And when you're looking at it, maybe you're missing some stuff. So if we go ahead and do a dust conversion.
You added fire?
So those are actually fire pits outside. And that could have easily been missed if someone, again, is scrolling really fast and not paying that attention. What the Data does, we're actually bringing some life into it, and now you can see that huge asset of the property and you can sell it.
Yeah, the first one was great. This one is ridiculous. Yeah, I could see you're scrolling through picture after picture and then pop.
Exactly. Wow. And that's really the thing about Data Dusk. It's a great way to make people stop on their tracks and click into your listing versus just scroll past by you.
And you said 4 times more clicks?
4 times more clicks. That's kind of the stats that we have. And guess what? It's only $4. So
$4, guys.
4 times the leads for only $4.
$4. Is that a good investment? Yes or yes? That's a good investment.
Exactly.
Wow.
All right. So another really cool edit, item removal.
Okay.
Fact, 90% of buyers start their search online, and you only have a few seconds to grab their attention. We've already gone over that.
Yep.
Another thing that I've learned is that only about 10% of people understand content in a way that's different than you present it to them. So if you show someone a room that's not too attractive or that it's messy, that's all they're going to see. Even if you are describing and saying you can put this, and that, they're not going to see anything different. So that's where an edit like item removal comes in. You can wipe the slate clean and just remove everything and have an empty room. And just think about the amount of time that this could save an agent and money as well. Because if they go to a property and there's all that furniture and then you're noticing that it's not getting any traction, you can go and take it out or wait for the person to take it out.
Right.
You can just do it digitally and we'll do that for you. This is a bit of a more dramatic example.
I need a real life example of cleaning my kid's room. Can you do that?
We can do it digitally.
All right, digital.
Send the photos and you can live the dream.
I am curious if they have a floor. I'm not sure if they actually have a floor. Okay, show me what's up.
In here, you can see there's almost no detail of the flooring. When you're putting a property online and you have all these kind of personal memorabilia, it does tend to confuse the buyers a little bit. Again, that's all they're going to see. They're not going to look past that. Exactly. So that's one of the things that people want to find helpful, seeing properties being declared. So for $8, we go ahead and take it all out, give you that blank canvas, and now they can actually see the space and see the property that you're trying to sell it. So I love the item removal. Whenever I go into events and talk to agents or anyone in the real estate, their eyes just go, wow. I know. The Smurf room.
That's very Smurfy.
We got to the Smurf room. I mean, who doesn't love Smurfs? But maybe we don't want to live in.
I think Gargamel. He does not like Smurfs. I saw it in a movie once.
Not a big fan. Yeah. So yeah, we're not selling Gargamel this room, but really, I don't think anyone wants to live in a room full of Smurfs. That'd be slightly terrifying.
No.
So we're gonna go ahead and remove everything.
Look at that, Gargamel's dream.
It was $24. You don't have to be up on Smurfs until your eyes bleed. You can just make it go away.
That's amazing.
And that's not it. We can actually go ahead and breathe some new life into this property by doing some virtual staging.
Okay, so wait. So you can take the stuff out and then put the stuff you want in.
Exactly.
I mean, how does it decide what it's putting in that room? I mean, this is beautiful. I like what they did, but how does it do that?
That is a great question, because we're going to go right into talking about definitely our most popular edit, the virtual staging edit. Okay?
Bring it.
So virtual staging is by far our most well-known service, and I'm going to talk about how everything works. We have human beings doing all of the editing, so it's not an automatic thing. You go through the system, you obviously go into the account, choose your virtual staging, and then there's a set of preferences that you go to. So you're going to tell us, okay, I want this room decorated in a contemporary style. I want this, and that. I want a chair here, a bed here, and then we're going to create that for you, and you'll get it back in about 40
So you actually are filling out what you want. Like when you're putting in the empty room, you can say, this is what I would like, and I'd like to see this over here.
Exactly. And you can give us as little or as much information as you want, meaning that you can simply just upload your photos, say, okay, this is a bedroom. I want it to be staged as a bedroom, and then that's it. And we'll give you that. Or you can be, this is a bedroom. I want it in a contemporary style. I want it to be all grays and beige and whatever colors you want, and be very specific. You can send us your reference images, markups, floor plans if you have them. So yeah, if you're really into that, I am into that. So whenever we do virtual staging, I love going like Pinterest, Google, finding inspiration, and just spending some time looking at designs.
That's incredible.
You can send that to us, and we'll use that as a guide.
That's great.
But yeah, so virtual staging, definitely one of our most popular service. And nowadays is really a must-have. 81% of buyers' agents said that staging a home made it easier for a buyer to visualize the property as a future home. So again, what we talked about, most people can't understand. If you present an empty space, that is all that they see. They don't see, even if you're telling you're going to put your bed here and this, they can't imagine it. So you want to help them with that. So when they're looking online, if they have that before and after, it's going to be a lot easier for them to be, okay, yes, I'm going to go walk and see this property in person.
That's just incredible.
Yeah.
I can see this really helping you close that deal, guys. I mean, yes, of course, on the lead generation part, but like getting them to choose you as their agent. Show them some examples of what you're going to do to make them look great. That fire pit picture earlier, this staging piece here, this is all for the dusk photos. Like, This really helps you stand out, and you have to now. There are more real estate agents, in the United States right now than, combined the last however many years. Like, it's a dogfight out there.
And it's a very competitive.
It really is.
Right.
And this is, again, that kind of thing. It's like social media. Everybody knows they need to do it, but they don't do enough of it. And it's because they're busy or this or that or the other.
And you know what? I think there's also this misconception that it's complicated or they have to put a lot of hours or work into
And you do without a tool like this.
Exactly.
You do. You have to get there at the exact right time. You have to go in there and remove all of the furniture. You have to make sure that you personally edit all your photos to look at, like, that's a time-consuming process.
That's why photographers do it, because that's their job.
And they need a lot of money at it.
Right, and they do a great job out of it.
And realtors spend a lot of money for it. So now let's reduce our output for photographers and let's increase our output with these amazing photos. I love that.
Yeah.
Please keep going. Please.
And yeah, of course. I just want to add to that, even if you're doing photography, you're doing professional photographers, sometimes you just need to take that extra image. Sometimes you just miss an image. You want to make sure that you're doing the same quality or a similar quality, because you don't want to have like, oh, great photography, and then this image sucks because you didn't do the editing or you didn't do this and that. So just wanted to add to that a little bit. But yeah, virtual staging, definitely very, very cool. Basically, you send us your photos. We introduce brand new furniture and decoration into it. This is a little review that we had. Virtually stage a vacant home that I had on the market for 6 months. Brought it back to the market after a boxbrownie.com session, and it's solved in 1 day. I will never list a property again without them, so we really appreciate that. Awesome. We wanted to include that here. So let's look at the before without anything on it. A great thing about virtual staging is visualization. That's a hard way to say.
Visualization.
Visualization.
She's from Venezuela. Everybody.
Exactly.
I don't know Spanish, so you're great.
Visualización. Entonces, we want to help people visualize the space. This could be anything. They're just looking at an empty room. So we're going to go ahead and stage it. And now it's a beautiful bedroom. Yeah. And it really transformed the space. So our virtual staging is, we focus on having it be very realistic, very high quality. We pay a lot of attention to details. The whole process that it goes into it is that they're able to measure the walls digitally so that they know that the furniture is up to scale and it makes sense with that space. We also take care of the lights and the shadows. So from this, you can get something like this. This is probably my favorite image that we have, because I love how the light looks on the leather. It looks so real. And so you can see the texture, and you can also
the window coming through on that chair.
Absolutely.
It's incredible.
Yeah. And so it's those little details that really make a difference. And that's what we focus on our virtual staging. It's only $24 per image, gets back to you 48 hours. One of the biggest selling points that I have on doing virtual staging is, well, obviously, if you're doing physical staging, it's a fraction of the cost. You can spend hundreds of dollars doing physical staging. It takes 1 or 2 weeks to get it done. And then if you want to change anything, how long is that going to take? And you risk damaging the property, having to move furniture, log in and around. With virtual staging, you just send it to us and we'll get it done. And it's really great because if you have a photo like this one where you can actually see almost the full property, you have a bunch of spaces in here, but they're just empty. You can help people visualize what each of those spaces for the same price. So in here we have the living room, we have a little foyer here, we have the dining room, we even have the kitchen, and it's all staged for $24. So you can take full advantage of that pricing and really get the most out of a photo.
Looks awesome.
So yeah, that is virtual staging. So that's definitely a must-have, and you guys should try it. We actually have a free offer for any time customer that comes through boxbrownie.com. They'll get 1 free virtual staging. So they can give it a try.
Did you hear that, guys? That's free. That's a freemium. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna we'll talk about it in a little bit too. But if you're a Chime user, you go into the marketplace inside your Chime CRM, and then under the preferred partners tab, you'll find Box Brownie. Click on that, and you'll get to take advantage of that virtual staging offer.
Absolutely.
So again, free. You can be free.
You can give it a try and see. Be impressed by yourself.
Exactly.
All right, let's talk about floor plans, Gary, because floor plans are our whole subject. Floor plans are number 3 in what buyers want to look for. So number 1 is going to be photographs, professional photos. We've talked about that.
Yep.
Number 2 is going to be property information, so the description and all the data about the property. Number 3 is floor plans, and only like 17% of agents are actually putting floor plans out there in their listing. So there's a huge gap.
Another place to stand out from the crowd.
Exactly. We want to put out floor plans. Floor plans are the only way that a buyer can actually visualize the whole of the property. You have beautiful imagery, and those are just individual pictures. The floor plan ties all together and gives you a full view of the property. So you can give us something like this. This is just a picture, not very professional to put out there in your listing, and we can redraw it into any of our styles. We have everything from simple black and white like this one. This is very nice and elegant.
It is.
We have other options. This is another example that we also look at
What
often.
in the world?
That is usually the reaction that you're going to get from someone who's not familiar with floor plans. It's too confusing.
Holy man.
People are not going to understand what that means.
Yeah.
So we can go ahead and convert it into a beautiful 2D floor plan.
Okay, stop. Okay, is that awesome? Yes or yes? That's incredible. I love that.
Yeah.
I want to make sure with our time here that we get into Chime and show how that could work. But is there anything else you want to show before we get in there so that we can?
So we were just going to look at some examples of floor plans, which
Yeah, show me.
scroll through.
So they could draw it out. And
They could draw it out.
okay, come on.
Get into
Come on.
If you don't have the builder's plans, we don't have to find them. You can just do a quick sketch on a napkin. This is literally 3 squares that someone put on a piece of paper, and then we turned it into this. So, yeah. Yes. I think this is a lot more impressive.
That's a little bit more impressive than that drawing.
And this is only $32.
Okay, $32, guys. And it turned it from the way I would draw something to this amazing image. That is just spectacular.
Yeah. And then we're just going to close it up with virtual renovation. I'm going to power through this one. This one is such an impressive edit. And to be honest, this edit has been on the rise in the past year. Because I think a lot of homeowners are choosing to renovate as well. So that is an avenue that a lot of people are going rather than selling. So this is a great way to help them visualize without spending thousands of dollars first. They can actually understand. So you have a space that it's not finished clearly. It needs some loving. So you tell us exactly what you need and we bring it to life.
So, having dealt with realtors for so many years, one thing I tell them is we want to make sure that we capture the audience, right? The potential buyers, but then we want to make sure that the messaging that we send out to them in Chime is relevant to what they're trying to do. And so I always recommend when you have a capture form, you can ask questions like your name and your email and what's your timeline, but you can ask even more specific questions like what's important to you and what type of home are you looking for? And one of those things can be a fixer-upper, right? And then imagine if you had a tag on everybody who wanted a fixer-upper, and then you had the ability to say, here's what it looks like now, here's what it could look like. And you sent out emails that had these boxbrownie.com photos in it, next level, and that's going to move the needle so fast. I love that part.
That is the smartest and most effective way of removing objection. You don't have someone saying, oh, but it looks terrible. No, you get that out of the way and show them this is what you're actually paying for. You got a fixer-upper. You go from this to this, and it's a lot more comfortable for them to spend their money.
I mean, they don't have to just daydream what it could look like. You can show them what it actually could look like. That's fantastic.
We got to remember, most people can visualize that. So that's virtual renovation. If anyone has questions, they can go into the website. The pricing is all there. And of course, our 24/7 customer service, they can just ask for help there, and they'll help them with a quote and all that jazz. So let's talk about Snap real quick before going into Chime.
I know this is a new piece for you, and this is awesome. I saw it in action.
Yeah, this is the first time that I saw this. It was when it was first being tested out, and it was earlier. It was last year, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that we're doing this. So Snap is our latest release, is our brand new app. You can find it right now in the App Store. It's only available for iPhone. We are working on the Android version for everyone out there because I get that question a lot. We will do it. Just we will let you know what it comes out.
For you iPhone users, if you pause it, go back a couple of seconds there, and you pause it here and scan that, we'll get that app on your phone. Okay, keep going.
Exactly. And you can also just search boxbrownie.com or Snap, and it will pop up on the App Store.
Sure.
So basically what the app does is that it takes HDR photography. So I'm going to explain it real quick for everyone who's not familiar with that concept. HDR stands for high dynamic range.
Okay.
And it's a technique that professionals photographers use to basically create the perfect image. We talked about light and that it's hard to manage. So HDR, what you do is that you take a very, very bright picture, a very, very dark picture, and everything in between, just like it is on the screen. And then you merge that together into the perfect exposure, basically. And that is the whole process that photographers had to do. They do with the camera, it's a whole setup, and then you have to edit that. So Snap does it all in one click. You don't have to mess with any settings. You don't have to do anything. It's just going to take that photo, and then you can set it for image enhancement, which you have to do image enhancement every single time, and you can get a beautiful image just like this. And the quality is going to be just like a professional camera. Professional cameras are usually DSLR, and DSLRs are on the way out, basically. I use a Canon DSLR, and They have just announced that they closed their DSLR manufacturing because the technology is not, yeah. So we have realized that iPhone technology and phone cameras have caught up with that. So we are just basically maximizing it and making the most out of it. So you basically have a professional camera in your pocket at all times, and Snap, Snap, Snap grabs that and makes it even better. So when you're taking photos with Snap, 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 it's actually taking 45 to 70 exposures, merges that together into 5 to 7 exposures, and then you get that perfect image. And then you can also do editing straight through the app. You can do image enhancement. So this is an example of the image enhancement.
Oh, the light again. There you go.
Imagine going to a property with your phone. You can use a tripod. We do recommend a tripod, and shooting a property like this in maybe 20 minutes and then sending it straight through your phone for editing. So you get it back in 24, 48 hours and you're ready to list it and for the listen to go live. That's something that you can't, you can't put a price on really. So we can also do item removal. We can do data dusk. This is another, all these
Right through the app.
Right through the app. And you can also do virtual staging. So the app is linked to your account. You just have to download it. You log in with your boxbrownie.com details.
Sure.
And then you can access your photos from your phone. So you don't have to be dealing with downloaded, resending or anything. You can just have it in your phone. And you can also access them from the computer. So yeah.
That's phenomenal, guys. Like, let's get into the Chime piece here. But while Danny is pulling that up, 3 takeaways from this is that it's easy. It does not seem like a very difficult process, and it gives people back their time. And that is the thing that is most abused in real estate is time. You never know where you're going to be or when you need to be there or how long it's going to be. And it just takes you away from everything that you're trying to do outside of real estate with your family or whatever it is. Your personal life. Get some of that back. So it's easy. The second is it's important. Do you want 4 times more clicks? Right? Do you want to stand out from the crowd? Do you want to be able to get that person to choose you as their agent? Well, then you need to stand out. And how are you going to stand out? By offering them more that's going to get them more. You know what I mean? And then the third thing is that it ties into your Chime, because it's wonderful to have Chime. Chime is amazing. But if you don't set it up right, then you're not going to get the same juice out of that orange. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So you can send email after email, but if it's irrelevant, the pictures aren't sexy, or it doesn't happen at the right time to the right people, then it's unproductive. You know what I mean? And a Ferrari without gas is just a beautiful garage ornament. You know what I mean? And this is the stuff that's going to get you going far. Let's look at what it looks like in Chime. How did you use boxbrownie.com inside Chime to do exactly what I was just talking about?
Absolutely. So I'm very passionate about photography and imagery. I think that images are the most important thing in our world. We see images every single day. We have cameras in our pockets. So that's where you can really lean on and an easy way to build your brand. So Chime already gives you all those tools. You can build your website. You can do email campaigns. You can do social posts. You can do everything. And you have these wonderful templates, and they're all standard templates. And that's when you can really play with it and elevate that using your own brand and your own imagery.
Do you want to be a standard agent? Or do you want to be a standout agent, right?
And people notice that, they'll notice when it's a template. So we grabbed one of the wonderful features in Chime. I think my favorite was actually being able to create your own website, and we could edit and put imagery. So we did that using all boxbrownie.com imagery. This is one of our data dusk images of virtual staging. Look how beautiful that looks. And then my little headshot that I also edited with boxbrownie.com right there. So it really looks very professional. It took me only a few minutes, and all I had to do was get my boxbrownie.com photo, go into Chime, and upload them into there, and you can create that.
Yep.
You also have the option to do your manual listings and see how that's going to look. So I took some time and played with that, and it looks so beautiful. So this is
a pocket listing that you created inside Chime.
Exactly.
Okay, under the listings tab, you can create a pocket listing. Okay. Click on that. Let's see.
I went in there and just created my perfect listing of my dream house and used some beautiful photography. You have some examples of all of the edits that we talked about, and Chime just made it so easy for that to come together and to actually look good. So imagine having this beautiful layout that Chime creates for us, but then the photography not being great. It's just, yeah. So you want to make sure that your photography is on top of that as well.
Sure.
So we even did a virtual tour, which we also do virtual store tours. We did some copywriting. We have an option to do copywriting as well on the website. So you can do everything for your marketing on boxbrownie.com. Get all of that ready, and then simply go to Chime and put it all together, and you are ready to go. So that's saving you lots of time, so lots of money, and just making you look good. That's what it's all about.
Exactly. Yeah, no, exactly. And oh, look at this virtual tour that they created.
Yeah, we put it into the listing, and I love that you can simply put that link and it's hosting then, and then you can have your listing ready to go, and it looks beautiful. You have everything that you need and everything that's going to make you stand out and really get those leads and get those sales done.
Yeah, you're going to be hard pressed to find another listing in your area that's going to be as beautiful as this. You absolutely are, unless they're using boxbrownie.com. Be the first. That's the goal. Be the first, guys. You can use these photos on your social media too. If you guys are using our Social Media Pro studio, the ability to pull in whatever photos you want. So you have some Box Brownie Data Dusk photos or property remove photos or possible renovation photos or floor plans or whatever it is. You just go and you click on that share social. You add the photos that you want. Use our new ChatGPT integration if you want to write some copy, but there's so many cool things that you could do here.
Yeah, it really kind of brings the best of both worlds. You kind of have that design and that ease of use aspect, and then the content part of it, which is sometimes a struggle. You don't know how to take the photos. Now you have them. You can do it with boxbrownie.com, bring those into Chime. It's like the perfect marriage. And yes, the social post is a really cool thing. Let's say that you have this new listing. You just got this dream house for $5 that you're going to sell. And you can go do your social post. You can send an email blast, all with your same boxbrownie.com imagery. And from Chime, it's a dream. It's
incredible.
So cool.
So now it looks beautiful, and it's going out to the right people at the right time. And then you're closing more deals, and then you're getting referrals, and then you're using boxbrownie.com for the next one that you got from that referral, and everybody is happy. I love that.
Exactly.
That's awesome. What's next for Box Brownie? And you guys got anything you're playing with that you can tell us about, or besides the Android app?
Well, we're working on the Android app. We're working on improving our app all the time. We've just released our new AI copywriting feature that is brand new. It's in our website. It's really exciting. So we do have human-powered copywriting. But basically, you can go in and choose if you want to have the human power or if you want to do the AI. The AI just simply kind of fill in some fields. It's really easy to use. Just say how many bedrooms, what kind of property it is, and it just does it in a minute. And that's completely free. You just generate the copy, and you can copy paste it, and it's totally free. So it's pretty cool, and you can get it your property description super fast. We're also working on some new edits and some new upgrades for our system and our virtual staging. I'm not going to reveal too much about it, but stay tuned, because boxbrownie.com is always working on what's next. So I guarantee you that we're always thinking about how to improve your experience with us and create this great relationships.
Well, we love having you as a preferred partner here at Chime. And again, if you are a Chime user, you're just going to go into the marketplace, go into your CRM, click on the marketplace, and then underneath the preferred partner tab, you're going to find boxbrownie.com. And if you click on that button, you get what? A free virtual?
You're going to get a free virtual staging. So you do want to do it through the Chime Marketplace.
Through the Chime Marketplace, guys. You got to do it through the Chime Marketplace to get that free virtual
staging. You can get your one data desk. You're going to get 3 image enhancement of free virtual staging, which is exclusive through that link. And then you also have the option to do a one-on-one with me, or really with anyone in our team, but it'd be with me for a free marketing health check. So if you want to share a listing with me and you want to say, hey, what can I do better? What kind of edits do you recommend? We can have a call and sit down and go through the system, go through boxbrownie.com.
I love it.
So you're entitled to all that if you sign up through Chime.
Well, I love it. So again, if you're a Chime customer, go into the marketplace and find them under the preferred partner tab. And if you are not a Chime customer, there is a link in here underneath this video where you can go to learn more about Chime. And I want to thank you for joining us on our first Real Estate Tech Talk, and you have been amazing, and I look forward to working with you in the future. And again, people, if you don't want to be a standard agent, you want to be a standout agent, Chime CRM and boxbrownie.com is a wonderful partnership. It's not only not expensive, it's actually pretty cheap. It's you pay as you go. And it does all the things that you know you should be doing and you're probably not doing now. And by automating that with an amazing company like Chime and BoxRunny.com, you get to shake more hands and sell more houses. So thank you for joining us, Danny. Yeah, I think I called you Dandy. Danny.
Dandy.
Anyway, have a wonderful day, and thanks for joining us, guys.